Hi, it's Secretary Kennedy here to talk about the 10-to-1 deregulatory agenda that President Trump has directed us through an executive order to implement here at HHS. I want to talk about what it is and why it's important and how you can participate. First, let me say a little bit about what deregulation actually means. When past administrations talked about deregulating the healthcare system, it usually meant removing barriers to unfettered corporate profit-taking. Today, the terrible deterioration in America's public health has forced us to recognize that many of these regulations never accomplished that job of controlling corporate power and protecting our health. Instead, they stifled innovation and drowned researchers and providers and companies in a sea of paperwork. HHS needs to make sure that our regulatory framework is clear, predictable, and allows providers to focus on preventing and treating chronic disease instead of clearing unnecessary regulatory hurdles. Here's the thing about regulation. Usually it's a much bigger problem for smaller companies and independent providers than it is for the large corporations who can afford to hire entire compliance departments and legions of lawyers. In fact, it's possible that these corporations were responsible for writing a lot of these regulations in the first place. Those rules help the largest companies maintain market monopolies and to keep lower cost and more agile and innovative players off the field. They suppressed innovation and opportunity and resulted in diminished quality and service and much higher costs. So our deregulation drive is actually an opportunity for department-wide reform. We're going to maintain and even strengthen the regulations that genuinely protect the public, and will reduce and eliminate regulations that thwart innovation and gum up the system in paperwork. We will especially focus on eliminating regulations that prevent providers from putting patients first. That's our basic approach, but to implement it in detail, we need your help. So we're announcing an RFI. That means a request for information, so that external stakeholders like you can weigh in. You can access this process at our online portal, regulations.gov/deregulation, where you can propose and draft an actual deregulatory action. If it's a good idea, we're going to use it. I'm looking forward to seeing what this collaborative process can actually accomplish. Thank you for taking action to change the regulatory environment and to make America healthy again.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.